If it's cloudy, I'll bring an umbrella. Logical if statements. In this video, we'll talk about if statements in programming and how we can use them to perform code if something is true. Basically, for an if statement, you do something if it's true, and if the opposite is true and you have an else statement, you do the opposite. The else if statement allows you to add an additional condition to check, and later on we'll take a look at the logical AND operator and the logical OR operator, which helps us to make more complex conditions. So let's start off here with this condition here. So we have the weather is hot. This is true. So if it's hot, I'm going to wear a t-shirt because it's hot. But if the opposite of is hot, so maybe cold, I use the else to get us to look at the opposite. I will wear a sweater and a coat because it's cold. So let's run this code. Okay, so I will list and see what clear. Go run main. Okay, perfect. So wear a t-shirt. It's hot. Now let's say that it is not hot, that is false. Okay, then it should say wear a sweater or a coat. Okay, so if I write go run main.go, it says wear a sweater and a coat. It's cold. Excellent. So we were able to do a simple if statement, and if that were true, the first line of the code is run, and if the first condition is false, we run the other code. This is the alternate code. Okay, let's comment that out. Control K, and let's find another scenario. So in this scenario, we have some conditions related to our favorite food, which is pizza. So we have like pineapple, and we'll say let's make that true, and we say like ham and make that true. So here I'm going to make our if statement a bit more complicated using the logical AND operator. So in this case, both condition A and condition B need to be true to run this code. Otherwise, you have to go down to the next line of code. So in this case, like pineapple is true and like ham is true. So it should print order a Hawaiian pizza. Okay, so let's save and have a look at that. Let's clear the console, go run main.go, and it says order a Hawaiian pizza. Now let's change just one condition and see what happens. Let's change like a pineapple to false. So maybe you like ham but not pineapple. So what pizza should you order? So in this case, go run main, it would say order a pepperoni pizza. Now this is interesting. The first condition, the first line said order a Hawaiian pizza. Why didn't it print order a pineapple chicken pizza? That's because with our else if we said you must like pineapple. In this case we said false. So skipped right to pepperoni pizza. So how would we trigger the second line? We could change like ham to false, but like pineapple to true. So in that case, maybe you could get the chicken pizza. So let's take a look. Go run main, and what does it give us? Order a pineapple chicken pizza. Excellent. Okay, so now let's comment that out, and we've now taken a look at logical AND operators where both conditions must be true to run that line of code. Okay, and so the next one we're going to take a look at is the logical OR operator. So in this case, one of the two must be true for this code to run. So, so here's the question. Do I drive to work or take the bus, right? Or do I walk? So if the weather is, the conditions we'll have is bad weather and how far away the work is, right? So if the weather is, let's say the weather, let's make these both true. Let's say that the weather is bad and the job is far away. So we have the first if and then the else. Which one will run? Well, bad weather is true and is far away is true. So it's going to tell me I should drive, right? But I only needed one of those to be true. That's the opposite would be, or the if this statement fails, it would go on to this one, which would say you have no excuses, you should walk. So let's test it out. Go run main. And here it says you should drive as expected. Now let's make it so that the weather is actually good. Bad weather, no. So now only one of the two conditions is true. So will it skip to else, or will it run the first line? So let's clear the console and go run main. Okay, and it says you should drive again. So in this case, it ran the first line of code because you only needed one to be true. So you could actually switch these up, make that true, make that false, and this would still run the first line because only one or the other needs to be true. Let's run that here. Go run main. Okay, and it's still telling us to drive. So what would the condition need to be for us to walk? We would need both to be false. So the weather is not bad and it's not farther away. It's good weather and it's close by. I have no excuses. I should walk. Let's run that. Go run main. And so why did it say you have no excuses? Because both conditions were false. So there you have it. We've just learned if statements, if else in Golang, as well as the logical or and operators. Thank you.